300 years ago, a Spanish galleon loaded with enough gold, silver, and emeralds to buy a small country explodes and sinks to the bottom of the Caribbean Sea. For centuries, it becomes the holy grail of shipwrecks, a legend that treasure hunters dream about. And now, marine archaeologists have just confirmed they found it, using something as simple as old coins scattered on the ocean floor. The San José isn't just any shipwreck. We're talking about a treasure worth $17 billion. That's billion with a B. And the story of how it got there is even more incredible than the treasure itself. June 8, 1708, the San José is sailing as the flagship of a Spanish treasure fleet, carrying 200 tons of gold and silver from Peru back to Spain. King Philip V desperately needs this money to finance his side in the War of the Spanish Succession. But the British have other plans. Near Cartagena, Colombia, a squadron of British warships appears on the horizon. The battle that follows will become one of the most legendary naval engagements in history. The San José's sister ship, the San Joaquin, manages to escape after 2 hours of combat. But the San José isn't so lucky. The British warship Expedition closes in for the kill, preparing to board and capture the treasure. Then, in an instant, everything changes. The San José's powder magazines detonate in a catastrophic explosion. The ship, its treasure, and nearly 600 souls vanish beneath the waves in minutes. Only 11 men survive out of the entire crew. For over 3 centuries, the exact location of the San José remained one of the ocean's greatest mysteries. The treasure became legendary. 11 million gold coins, chests full of emeralds from Colombia's mines, Chinese porcelain from the Kangxi period, silver from the mines of Potosí in Bolivia, where indigenous workers were forced to extract precious metals under brutal conditions. Here's where the story gets really interesting. In 1981, an American salvage company called Sea Search Armada claims they found the wreck. They strike a deal with Colombia to split the treasure 50-50. But then Colombia changes its mind, passes new laws, and basically tells the Americans they'll get 5%, which will be taxed at 45%. You can imagine how well that went over. Fast forward to 2015, Colombia's president announces they've found the real San José in a completely different location with help from British experts and the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. Sea Search Armada cries foul, saying Colombia is trying to steal their discovery. The legal battle explodes, like the San José's powder magazines. But wait, it gets even more complicated. Spain enters the chat, claiming the ship belongs to them because it was a Spanish naval vessel. Peru wants a piece because the treasure came from their territory. And here's the kicker. Indigenous groups from Bolivia are demanding reparations because their ancestors were enslaved and forced to mine this treasure in the first place. Now, in 2025, we have the smoking gun. Marine archaeologists used underwater robots to capture incredibly detailed images of coins scattered around the wreck site 600 meters below the surface. These aren't just any coins. They're called cobs or macuquinas, rough gold coins hand-struck in 1707 at the Lima Mint. They show castles and lions on one side, the Pillars of Hercules on the other. The researchers published their findings in the journal Antiquity, and it's the strongest evidence yet that this is definitely the San José. What makes this discovery so special isn't just the mind-boggling value of the treasure. These coins, along with Chinese porcelain and cannons dated to 1665, create a time capsule of colonial maritime trade. Every artifact tells a story about life 300 years ago, about global trade routes, about the human cost of empire. Colombia's current president, Gustavo Petro, wants to raise the wreck before his term ends in 2026. The government has declared the site a protected archaeological area and plans to invest $4.5 million in the recovery. They're talking about creating specialized laboratories to study everything properly. But here's the thing that really matters. This isn't just about gold and emeralds. The San Jose represents something much bigger. It's a window into a brutal period of history when European powers exploited entire continents for their wealth. Those 11 million gold coins, they represent the sweat and suffering of enslaved workers in Potosi's silver mines, where life expectancy was measured in months, not years. The international legal battle raging over the San Jose might set precedents for how we handle underwater treasures in the future. As technology advances and more shipwrecks become accessible, we're going to face these questions again and again. Who owns history? Can you put a price tag on cultural heritage? Should treasure hunters profit from tragedies? Some underwater archaeologists worry that raising the ship could destroy invaluable historical information. After 3 centuries on the ocean floor, the San Jose is fragile. One wrong move and priceless artifacts could be lost forever. Others argue that the treasure should stay where it is, a memorial to the 600 people who died that day in 1708. The Colombian Institute of Archaeology wants to learn about the daily lives of those 600 people. What did they eat? What personal belongings did they carry? What can their remains tell us about life aboard a Spanish galleon? These questions matter just as much as the value of the gold. Right now, robots are mapping every inch of the wreck site. They're cataloging artifacts, studying how the ship broke apart, trying to understand exactly what happened in those final moments. The preliminary surveys alone are revealing things we never knew about Spanish colonial shipbuilding and naval warfare. What do you think should happen to the San Jose's treasure? Should it go to museums, to the descendants of those who mined it, or to whoever can legally claim it? The answer isn't simple, and that's what makes this story so fascinating. The San Jose reminds us that every treasure has a dark side, every fortune has a history, and sometimes the real value isn't in gold and emeralds, but in the stories they can tell us about our past. As technology opens up the deep ocean to exploration, we're going to find more ships like the San Jose. Each one will force us to confront uncomfortable questions about colonialism, exploitation, and who gets to profit from history. This legendary shipwreck isn't just about billions in treasure. It's about understanding our shared human story, acknowledging the suffering that built empires, and deciding how we want to handle these discoveries going forward. The San Jose waited 300 years to be found. Maybe it'll teach us something worth more than all the gold in its hold. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.